Hello, and this is True Crime Random Rants. So, I think this is officially episode 1, but I've done the intro, so that might be episode 1. Never mind. Anyway, so, I am currently sat on my couch with my phone. I have no idea what I'm doing, but we're just going to go for it anyway. So, if you've listened to the intro, I explained how today I was watching some YouTube videos. I fell down a bit of a rabbit hole again with Chris Watts. Why I keep doing it to myself, I'll never know. I think everybody around the world is thinking the same thing. It's like, why? And all of these creators that you watch are like, we're stepping away from the Chris Watts case. But nobody ever does. It's like, we need to keep discussing this case. The case has absolutely just taken over people's lives. It is what it is. We can't help it. I can't help it. You can't help it. Otherwise you wouldn't be here. You must have searched Chris Watts. Let's have it right. Because this is a brand spanking new podcast. This is literally me in my living room about half an hour ago, deciding that's it. I'm going to rant about this now. That's it. Get used to it. So, Chris Watts. We all know the Chris Watts story. I would imagine you have seen the YouTube documentary thing that I watched about, must have been about a year ago now, with my best friend who you mentioned in the intro. And she had said to me, she was like, have you seen this case? And I was like, no. So we sat and we watched together, and, you know, the bit where you see the go to sentencing and you hear from Shanann's family, and it had me absolutely just in bits. It was just so emotional, and I couldn't believe what this man had done. And this, you know, the family from the outside looking in looked like just the perfect family, with this beautiful home, with these 2 gorgeous little girls, with another little baby on the way and a little boy, which was just, I mean, what more can you ask for? Gorgeous husband, let's have it right. Anybody who says otherwise, he's a very handsome man. Shanann's beautiful, 2 gorgeous girls, baby on the way, absolutely stunning house. And you're just like, oh my God, look at this family. She's like running the wheel with her own little business. He's doing his thing with his job, whatever, the oil thing. And you're just like, wow, what a fairy tale. Until that fairy tale becomes a nightmare. And Chris Watts decides to kill his wife, his unborn child, and his 2 little girls. And everybody, I think it's safe to say, was left with questions. Just why would you do that? Why? You know what I mean? If it was the whole NK sitch, then get a divorce. There's no reason for you to kill your wife and your babies like that. There's just nothing makes any sense with this case. It really doesn't. I understand. I'm under no illusions. It happens. People snap. People lose the plot and just think, yeah, I'm just going to go a little bit crazy today. But this one was just, for some reason, it's captured the imagination of the world, and we all, I think it's safe to say, are left with questions and left with the whats and the whys and the consequences of actions that are destroying families now, a couple of years on. There's a lot going on still. So, over the last couple of days, I can't remember who I watched first. Oh, I was watching Christina Randall on YouTube. For anyone that's familiar, I love her. Certain ones I love, I'm not going to lie to you. Certain ones I'm just like, no, can't be coping with you today. Thanks anyway. But she had a video on this week. By the way, it's 1st May 2021. So she had a video on this week, within this last week, about Chris Watts. For the life of me, right now, as I'm sat here talking into my phone, I can't even remember what it was about. But safe to say, it was about Chris Watts. And, oh, that's it. Some psychologist lady, Jesus, wept. Honest to God, watch it. Like, this woman, ugh. So anyway, so she'd spoken to Armchair Detective and was like, yeah, Chris Watts didn't do it and didn't act alone and all this, and he was not in a right mental state, and and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, like, literally, we've got a confession more than once. You've got the police footage, the original police footage that we've all seen, where he sat with his dad. I'm going to tell my dad. And, he tells his dad. And then you can argue that the police lady gave him his story, but whatever. Then the ones from jail, from prison, where they went back, like, the police were like, hi, we've got lots of unanswered questions. We need to now talk to you again because we're not satisfied with what you told us. We don't like your version of events. We need more information. And that's literally like the rest of the true crime community still to this day. We need more information because you are a horrific liar. You lie about everything. Like, I'm looking out of my window right now and there is a bush in my garden. And if Chris Watts was sat here right now, he'd go, there is no bush in the garden. Like, he just lies about everything. He's just a crazy, compulsive liar. So, anyway, we've had two versions of events where he said categorically he killed his wife, he killed his two children. So are we meant to just completely ignore both of them confessions now? Or what? Because no. So anyway, I fell down a rabbit hole again because it's not the first time. Now, I knew about the 35C. So he was basically going to appeal his original conviction. And he was applying for that. And then it was like, suddenly, no, he's not. And it was like, right, okay. All right, fine. Didn't fall down the rabbit hole that time. I just thought, it's okay. Fine. He's not going to appeal it. Great. Good. Because he's got no business. But then this week, yeah. See, I watched Christina. Then they were talking about his Armchair Detective. I don't think they even mentioned him like by name. It was just like, oh, there's certain people out there that think that Chris Watts, didn't act alone and everything else. And I was like, okay, let me go and find this person. Let me find out what this person's got to say and why. So, I landed on Armchair Detective. Oh, if you haven't watched this, man, please, YouTube, Armchair Detective. I think his actual channel's Armchair Detective Blue. That's the one that I watched anyway. And, oh my Lord, this man is allegedly in touch with Chris Watts. He completely believes that Chris Watts did not act alone. He thinks there was up to 4 people there that night, or there was 4 people there that night if you watch his YouTube channel. And I'm not going to lie to you, whoever it is that listens to this, I fell in love with him a little bit. I felt sorry for him a little bit because the true crime community, the people like me that are sat here going, Chris Watts has got no business speaking to anybody. Mate, you just need to sit in jail or prison. Forgive me to my, if there's anybody listening from America, jail, prison. Either way, you just need to rot. You just need to not be speaking to anybody, not be speaking to any YouTube people, not be speaking to anybody outside of that prison, apart from maybe your mum, your dad and your sister. That's it. You've just got no business. Just, what are you doing? So he's like reaching out to Armchair Detective allegedly and passing on these messages. And God love him, Armchair Detective is like, Chris Watts sending clues. And he's, sat there and he's talking about these clues that Chris Watts is sending, because God forbid Chris Watts should just be clear, because apparently all of his posts is getting monitored. Even more so with the recent rumour about NK writing to Chris Watts, which, by the way, I fully believe. I'll come back to that. So anyway, so I was watching Armchair Detective, and my first initial impressions of this guy was like, mate, you're a little bit gone, aren't you? We've got some issues with you. You are a little bit crazy. You can't help it. You've fell down the rabbit hole, and mate, you are deep. Like you can't see light at the top anymore. You're gone. And then I say, the more I watched, I genuinely felt sorry for this guy, because he's getting traumatized. Like, people are, Shanann's family are like openly speaking out against this man. Like, why? Have you not got nothing better to do? I'm sorry. Don't, if you listen to this and you're just like, oh my God, you're just some random scouser. But I'm sorry. Fact of the matter is, your sister, if we're talking about like Frankie Jr., your daughter is dead. She was murdered. And you're using your social media and your YouTube channel to slate and go after this man who's just sat in his house making content, just chatting absolute whatever in his house on his own. He's not upsetting you. He openly says about Shanann that Shanann had nothing to do with the murders. He credits himself, and I haven't fell that far down his rabbit hole yet, but he basically credits himself that he was one of the first people to come out and say, no, Shanann had absolutely nothing to do with this, and he fought for Shanann when everybody was saying, oh my God, Shanann killed her kids. You know what I mean? So he's a supporter of Shanann, and yet Shanann's family are actively going on YouTube and calling this man out. They're supporting people who are publishing his address. It's so wrong. So I got very annoyed at that. I was just like, really, your daughter's dead, your sister's dead. You want to use your platform to rant about some 60-odd-year-old man thousands of miles away that just happens to believe that Chris Watts could not have killed your sister and your grandchildren or your nieces on his own. That's what he's saying, that he couldn't have done it on his own. He makes a lot of sense. He was the first person to come up with the Shadows video. If you haven't seen that, have a look. It's interesting. I first seen it about, I don't know, whenever It's a Crime on YouTube, which is the lovely Linda. I love her. She's Canadian. So, It's a Crime on YouTube, whenever it was last year, the year before. 2020 has just ruined our lives. We're forgetting what year it is. Anyway, so I stumbled across here when I'd originally watched the Chris Watts thing. So it goes on YouTube and put in Chris Watts. Linda from It's a Crime was there talking about Chris Watts had help. And her video is really good. So she breaks everything down. She looks at the grainy footage. She pulls it to shreds. She points out where there's extra shadows, etc, etc, etc. And she basically implies that Chris Watts had somebody else there with him that night who just happens to have a ponytail, saying nothing. And there was a lot of hate thrown towards Linda. Like, a lot of hate. Because I thought she was going to run with the series, and she's the only creator that I've seen on like YouTube and things, that has said, I'm having nothing more to do with the Chris Watts case. And she legit hasn't. She won't talk about Chris Watts. She got that much hate for that one video. And some of the comments were like, oh, Armchair Detective's already done this. You're late. You're copying off Armchair Detective. I don't believe that for a second. And to be honest with you, I don't care if she was. Who cares? Armchair Detective has got his own little vibe. Linda's got her own little vibe. I don't care if they're talking about the same thing. It just depends on your mood, who you want to listen to. Like, Linda's just got a nice tone about her, you know. So if I want to listen to Linda rather than Armchair Detective, then I will. And I get people going, oh, she stole his content. I don't believe she did. I really don't believe she did. I believe she saw it and she thought, that's it, I'm going to run with it. So, anyway, I didn't discover Armchair Detective at that point because I thought, you know what, I'm not going to go over to his channel. I'm not going to find out who he is. I'm not going to give him any views. Not a one. But then, this week, I did. So, I watched Armchair. A lot of Armchair. I do actually work full time as well, by the way. So, like, I don't sleep very much. Anyway, so I fell down a rabbit hole and, like, I messaged my best friend and was like, have you seen this? Have you seen this, man? Have you ever watched this? And she was like, yes. Haven't you? I was like, no. Oh, I've never seen him. But I think I love him. He is, like, he's a little bit crazy, but it's endearing. He's a nice older gent. Anyway, so this week, the rant, as if, like, I mean, I'm at 17 minutes and I haven't even got to my point. Welcome to the podcast. So this week, I've watched quite a bit of Armchair Detective. I have fell on Critical K, is it? Fell on her channel. I learned who Lana is. See, because for those of you listening to this that have watched the Netflix documentary, that watched the YouTube documentary, that were like, oh, that's so tragic. Oh, that's awful. Had a little cry like I did. And then thought, well, it's over. He's rotting in prison. That's it. You know, bye, Chris. All the best. You might have thought, you know, what are the families doing with themselves now? Well, this week, when I fell down my little rabbit hole, it was like, oh, my life. This is where I learned about Shanann's family going after this man. And it was like, what? What? Then Chris Watts with his little riddle letters. What the hell is all that about? Like, somebody, I'm sorry, privilege be gone. Just privilege be gone. Why is he allowed to just spout this rubbish? And then in another one that I watched today, which was Critical K, Lana was like, oh, he doesn't like the attention and he doesn't like social media circus. He does. He's in his little jail prison and he's sat there thinking, yeah, what can we spout about this week? You know, how can I get more people following me, looking at me? You know, I know they're not actually following him. I don't think he's on social media. I'm not that stupid. But he's keeping people talking. And I do genuinely believe he loves it. He's just getting off on it. I do. I just think he's sat in his cell thinking, oh, I am causing World War III out there amongst these random people that just cannot get over the fact that I killed my wife and kids. Soz about me. And yes, I'm one of them. Yes, I fell down the hole. Yes, I bought into it. Yes, I shouted at my telly. And yes, I created a podcast. Just to sit here on my couch and be like, what the actual... He's a strange little character, isn't he? I don't know where he gets off. And as much as people are saying don't give it the attention. You just can't help yourself, can you? You just can't. You fall down a rabbit hole and just go, oh, God, you absolute lunatic. And that he is. He's just mental. He's just whatever. He's sociopath, psychopath. I don't care what pigeonhole you throw this man in. The man is not right. The man is quite happy to sit in prison, jail, and have the world going, oh my God, Chris Watts. Like myself. Like you listening to this. But yeah, he's just on another level, isn't he? He really is. But I say, me original, I'm going to go back to my original point. So, my original point is, the man is just horrific, and just get a divorce. Why does you have to kill your wife and kids? Now, Armchair Detective has basically got a theory that, I mean, I've not fell down it that far, but there was a theory that there was this thing at the oil site where Chris Watts works, and it was just going to be like an explosion whereby Shanann and the kids just happened to be there and get blown up, and there was this big thing, and there's all these other people involved, and it was ruined by Shanann's best friend being that much of a best friend that when she hadn't heard from Shanann, she's like, I need to phone the police. And she went to the house and everything else, and thank God she did. And I've seen some things today where they were like, oh, it weren't her, she gets all the credit, she's the hero, but weren't really her, it was her and her friends in a group chat or whatever. I don't care. I really don't care. I really don't care who it was that instigated it. I don't care who it was that said, oh, can you go and check on Shanann, please? Fact of the matter is, she did. Fact of the matter is, if she hadn't, then it could have been how long before them bodies were found? What Armchair Detective is saying is, there's a reason why Chris Watts only buried Shanann slightly underground, was because she was never meant to stay there. She was meant to be moved. Where have her clothes gone? That was a really good point. Where have her clothes gone? Where? The clothes that she was wearing. When you watch that footage and you see her like coming to the front door and you see her on a little ring cam or whatever. Where are them clothes? They never found them. Where are they? Legit question. Answer on a postcard, please. Because apparently there's not an discovery that they found them clothes. But again, the police did mess up in this case. Like, there's no two ways about it. The police messed up. In what world? Chris Watts, we all know he was acting shady. We all know this. We've all watched Netflix. We've all seen when he's seen that footage and he's like, oh, they've got me on camera. Oh, you know what I mean? We've all seen that. In what world were the police going, okay, Mr. Watts, thank you for your time, Thanks for your time. And then, we'll get back to you. Let us know if you hear anything. And then, just ringing them at 2 o'clock in the morning to ask about the kids. What? I understand she was only a missing person at that point. But would they not have at least checked the house? Would they not have at least made sure that crucial evidence couldn't have been destroyed or hidden? Where are her clothes? She weren't found in them clothes. They weren't ever recovered from the house. Strange, innit? Anyway, so yeah, I think the police messed up in this case. I think Chris Watts is just evil personified. Do I believe there was other people involved? Part of me does. I'm going to look into it a little bit more. I'm going to fall a little bit farther, I think. Yeah. because it's now like it's 8:10 on a Saturday night. I mean, what else have you got to do? So I might watch another YouTube video, you know, for the sake of it, just to see what I really think about more than one person. I do think NK was involved. I do. I don't care. I do think she was involved. She was involved. She knew more than what she was letting on. We know she's a liar. Let's not even start. Don't even come up with anything about, oh, you know, she was scared or whatever. No. People are saying her biggest crime was that she fell in love with a married man. I mean, she did well for allegedly a 5-week relationship, didn't she? Yeah. Whatever. I do believe she's writing to him in prison. I do believe she knows more than what she will ever let on publicly. Again, people are saying, oh, let her live her life. She wants out of this. She's not speaking out. She's passing messages on through other people. Critical K had something on her site. It was like, oh, NK's friend has said this, and this is a statement to say that she's not writing to Chris. Whatever. So you were so in love with this man that you expect me to believe that you were so in love with this man. You found out all this and that was it. You just literally, you cut yourself off. You never ever spoke to him again. You never wanted to speak to him again. You've not reached out to him once in these years. I don't believe you. Not having it. Even literally just say why. Even just say, you're a beep. Try not to swear. Happy with myself. But yeah, I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. I don't believe for 1 second that she hasn't reached out to him, either to call him fit to burn, or to say why, or to say what the actual, to say something, to say anything. I just don't believe. It's human nature. It's human nature. It's why we're sat here going, oh my God, I wonder what happened. I wonder what this, I wonder why. Why? Are you trying to tell me someone that was that close to him, that loved him, allegedly, doesn't want to ask the same questions of him? Because I call bull on her saying that she's never had any contact with him. I call absolute bull. I do believe she's wrote to him using her new name, because she's changed her name and everything else, allegedly, to get away from the case and the association. But then releases statements through other people. If you don't want to be associated, then don't be associated. At all. Full stop. End of. If you can cut this man out of your life who you were allegedly so in love with, then you can cut yourself off from community when you've changed your name, when you're away from it. You don't have to release statements through your friends. You don't have to do that. Stay quiet. Shh. No one's asking for you to speak. If you're going to speak, speak. Or shut up. Be releasing statements through other people. It's just annoying. Anyway. Nearly a half an hour. Well, that was good, wasn't it? I haven't stopped this once. I haven't edited. I don't know how to edit. I'm just going to upload it and hope for the best. So, yeah. That's me. Ranting about the Chris Watts case. That's just a little intro. I might actually have to make a plan for what I want to rant about next time, and just be like, right, okay, here's what I, because there's so much to this case, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I'm going to stop that there. If you've managed to get to the end of this, thank you so much. Yeah, subscribe if you feel the need. Thank you very much. Bye.